What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this. People keep on telling me, like, Truth, how long to unbiased rape trial start? I'm like, he only got like under a week left now, depending on when YouTube gonna release this. Ain't no it could be days away, but he got under a week. Right now, what the date is, he got under a week. Yeah, look out, the time going by fast, ain't it? Like, but what if you wrong, Truth? What if he just going to trial, like he said, just to get the case thrown out? What if you wrong, Truth? What if he actually telling the truth? Okay, my question to you would be, when have you been telling the truth? He been lying all up to this time. You think he telling the truth right now? The only reason why he admitting now that he got to go to court to get it thrown out is because we released the court date that he was telling y'all he no longer have to go to court. Before we released the document showing he had to go to court on the 24th, what was he telling y'all? I ain't got to go to court no more. I'm not going to court no more. I'm not going back to court no more. They threw the case out. They had nothing, no evidence against me. That lady said, we can't try him. We don't have nothing. Let him go. Stay out of trouble, Mr. Gandhi. Remember all that? Remember all that? He didn't know that paperwork was going to come up. The paperwork came up. The paperwork showed what? He was lying. Look how quiet he been since in court. Look, have you noticed? He ain't active as he used to be no more. Seeing that trial date is coming up. Yeah, I would be worried too. Get your affairs in orders. Look, I don't believe he going to trial. I don't think, listen, I'm telling y'all something real. I don't, look, he got attorneys that specialize in rape. They you remember how he was trying to tell us, they ain't got no evidence against me. You can say that to the battle rap community. You can't say that to the court. That guy got all the evidence against you. If we could do this much damage to him with just 2% of the paperwork, imagine what they're going to do. Then he got attorneys that specialize in these cases like this. He got rape attorneys that specialize with rape. That even before he committed what he did, they was doing this their career. They make a career out of defending rapists and things like that. So they know, and I guarantee you, they talk to him like, man, this. And you got to keep in mind, these lawyers don't like losses on their records. When they know that, man, we're not gonna beat this. Let's try to work out a deal so it won't count on our record. We go to trial, we lose, it's gonna count on our record. And they don't want damaging records like that because people looking to hiring them. Oh, he got a such and such 80 success rate. He got a 80% success rate in rape cases. Oh, he only got a 50%. See what I'm saying? No. So you can bet they telling him like, look, we're gonna try to do the best we can, right? To get you at least as least time as possible that we can. But if you go to trial, you can bet they telling him that because they don't want the losses on their record. They like, look, if you go to trial and they find you guilty, hey, that's out of our hand. They're gonna give you double what they offering. Now, if you take the plea, you could appeal. We'll work on it on the appeal. And we can work behind the scene and to give us more time to get some things together. We can find some little loopholes and things like that. And even though it may be looking like you're doing 20 years, in 1, 2, 3 years, we can turn this thing around possibly and get at least some of this time back. Depending on your behavior you do up in there, we can get you into these programs. See, they do all that type of stuff to also persuade their clients into giving in to take a plea because they don't want the losses on their record. I'm not wrong. You know how I'm not wrong? Because he said he didn't have a court date. We've been telling y'all he have. How am I wrong? When you say, what if you wrong, Truth? I'm the one ain't been wrong. I think y'all need to be telling him that. Why you been lying this long? Why you been saying this? You say you ain't never going back to court. You say he got an answer for everything after the truth always. Notice he always bend back. He got the bend back when truth come out. He see what we know to then create an answer for it. What do they know? What do they know? Well, they don't know about the other stuff. Okay, then I could address that this way. See what I'm saying? That's what he's been doing ever since. But I know this because of the paperwork we do got. This was a real live rape operation he had going on that he literally mapped out, planned out to the T. He thought it was a foolproof rape operation. He thought it was foolproof. He did, which okay, first of all, let's stop thinking these brothers supposed to think rational when they doing these things. You are a married man raping women, taking them against their will with a pocket full of money. So he get off on the power of knowing he's taken and violating. It turns him on even more knowing that. So that's what he did, right? Now, when you look at this operation he had going on, let's look at some of the things that's being said in the paperwork that he was doing. So this was a full-blown fake Uber service he was running. He had the SUV truck. He had the fake IDs. He had the burner phones. He had the pistols, the blindfolds, the duct tape, the gaggers. He had the charm and the persuasion to win people over to get them to come inside of the car. When you look at what the paperwork speak about the women, right? Let's say Kiara Simmons. Remember, he said he met Kiara on Backpage, right? So he meet Kiara on Backpage. But the paperwork didn't say that. The paperwork said Kiara called her friend for a ride. Her friend wasn't able to give her a ride, then gave her a number to an Uber service that the friend had met. The friend was like, I can't give you a ride, but call this person. They should be able to give you a ride. This was to the false, fake Uber service that he was running under his rape operation. Depending on who called, that's how he would be selective on who he raped. Because if you look at the stature of these women, Kiara, 5 feet tall. Shannon, 5 feet 2. Thin women, somewhere between 100 to 15 to 20 pounds. He like 6 feet 2. So he overpowering these women. So based upon these women being by themselves, like Kiara, 5 feet tall, by herself, under 120 pounds. Shannon, by herself, 5 feet 2, under 120 something pounds. He would select who he choose to violate based upon their stature or their soberness. Or because when you look at the Karen lady, she's 50 something years old, but she's inebriated. She's inebriated under the influence of alcohol. After clubs close, he pulls up, propositioning himself as an Uber service. He looked charming, persuasive words, fake IDs to gain your trust to come inside the car while he presenting, oh, I work for Uber service. Special cards made that go to the burner phone. So when Kiara's friend wasn't able to give her a ride and said, call this number instead, this guy will give you a ride. He's an Uber driver. She called the number. He come pick her up. He sees she a attractive young woman. Short, slim. Whatever went on, it turned into rape. It turned into rape. Not even 30 minutes of her being in that vehicle. He saw the vulnerability. In the pistol that was in the car that she described. That when the police raided, they found the gun in the car exactly where she said it was at. Not only that, they raid his house and find the rape victim's property in his house. Remember, they had no idea of who this person was. That's why when you read the documentations of the paperwork, it's saying that the detectives had to go back to Kiara's friend's house where the friend gave Kiara the number to get the number from the friend because all Kiara's property was gone. She couldn't contact nobody or nothing because he had a purse. Well, her phone and stuff. So she couldn't contact nobody. She had to take the police over to the friend's house that gave her his number. And when the friend gave the detective the number that he gave Kiara, that he lied and said he met on Backpage to, they ran the number through the company it was assigned under, which was T-Mobile. Then they went to T-Mobile to put a GPS on the number. That's how they found where he lived. This was a thought out, orchestrated rape operation. Rape operation. He would choose depending on the people he would pick up. If he saw that a person was under the influence, that's how come I believe it's more women. I honestly believe it's more women. I don't think a man wait till he get in his 40s to start raping women. I'm sorry. I don't buy that. I'm sorry. No. I don't buy that at all. At all. But that's how you know his story was a lie. It was never no Backpage. It was never no parties. Have you noticed he don't have no footage of none of the parties? Who hired strip dancers, right? And this their age. We talking about this was a couple of years ago. You ain't video record none of the footage. You ain't got none of the footage. But you throw after parties and sets. Everybody got their camera phones. You got no footage. You have no witnesses from the party at all. Because according to the paperwork, that's exactly what his lawyer said. This is between them and him. It ain't even no other witnesses really for him. It ain't no other witnesses for him. So how is it that you threw this set and you known in Atlanta for throwing these big parties, but you ain't got no footage of the strippers dancing for your party? You ain't got you got all this camera crew because you're a battle rap blogger too. So you're doing all these what they call, what's his true series called? What's them called? Untold Truths. You always keep the camera ready. You got all these untold truths. You got all these cameras. You blog all the time. But you decide this day of your big event, your big party with all these strippers coming in to bust it open and get down and freaky, you decide not to cut the cameras on. You decide not to have no footage or nothing. Come on, man, who you talking to? No. No, 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 no. You talking about inconsistencies. Man, the DA gonna tell you alive up there. He not going to no trial. For what? Man, we can easily peep you out by this alone. Let's just be real, people. Is you kidding me? How? Then Shannon. Shannon had no idea who he was. She had the nuts still hanging on her face. She was smart enough to know that. She couldn't even clean herself up. She went to the hospital with the nut on her face. The policeman had to take the nut off her face. That sound like somebody that voluntarily had sex with you. Like I'm voluntarily having sex with a woman. She don't wipe her face off or nothing. But she consistent. I forgot what that word called. Consent. She consented to having sex with me. I didn't even stick around till she wiped her nut off her face. I just left her with the nut on her face, like, okay, I'm out of here. Do that sound like consent? Do that sound like consent? Do it. Like, come on. That's rape all over it. She didn't even know his name. She didn't even have a phone number on him. That's why the nut, it was just in the vault. It had no identity to it until he got arrested for the other 2 rapes. And then they swabbed his mouth. Then they put his DNA through the system. And it came back to the rape victim DNA. Like, hold on. This DNA matched the woman that was raped in 2015. Then they called her in. Did a lineup with him. You know the man who raped you in 2015? She said him. Him right there. That number 2. Say that's him. Yep. Well, just so you know, we picked him up yesterday. 2 other women was raped and assaulted. We swabbed his mouth. The DNA came back. We found the guy who raped you in 2015. Then they charged him with her rape. And what did he lie to the battle rap community and say? No, they charged me with the rape because I fit the description. Right. Your DNA fit the description. He's not going to trial. His lawyers, remember, they specialize in this. Like, dog, we can't go to trial on this. What are we supposed to say? All 3 of these women lying? And I can see if they was all together. None of these women don't even know each other. These are 3 different times. We supposed to say that all these women lying and they don't know each other and all of them saying the same thing at 3 different times. You know how hard it's going to be to try to convince the jury that these are all coincidences? No. Matter of fact, I want to show y'all something. The judge actually said that. I want to go to the paperwork once. I want to show what the judge said that. The judge definitely brought that up, and he said that same thing. He said it's going to be hard. I want to show y'all what the judge said about that situation too. Matter of fact, let me find that. I want to show y'all what the judge said. Because he said this very same thing that I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. Man, he done. He done. The best thing he can do is just go ahead and take that plea, man. He is done. Just go and take the plea, man. Like, stop playing. I don't think it's in that one. No, it's in the other one. Let me grab the other one. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Look at what the judge said. The judge said this very same thing. And the judge, no, keep in mind, you're going before these judges. And these judges saying the same thing. Like, hold on, man. How you know it's gonna be the judge, you can tell him, man, hey, it's gonna be hard trying to defend that. Hold on, wait, watch what he say. Matter of fact, let me call somebody. Need to call my guy right quick. Let me just make a call right quick. Let me call my guy. Let me call my guy right quick. While I look for them too. Come on. Just want to make sure I got this right. Okay. Okay, I'm finna find it even if he don't answer. Okay, he didn't answer. Okay. I'm finding myself. Watch this, y'all. I'm finna show y'all something. Okay. All I gotta find is when the court says something. Okay, that's in location. Okay. Let's see. Come like the court. Okay. Okay, here you go. Watch this. I found it. Look at what the judge and them say about this situation. Watch what the judge says right here. Let's go here. Read this it. Okay, right here. Let me open this up some. Show y'all what the judge said about this situation. Pay attention to this. Watch this. Okay. Okay. Y'all there? Watch this. Can y'all see this? Let me move this so we can see this a little bit. I want to show y'all something. Okay, so pay attention to what this is, right? So I'm on line 8, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm on line 8. It says the court. Look what it says. The court. The court is saying, so what he's speaking to unbiased lawyer. The court said, so what do you say to the pessimist who might argue, gosh, it's a heck of a coincidence that he was wrongfully accused by 2 different prostitutes of hurting them when he didn't pay them. Look, the court saying this. He was wrongfully accused by 2 different prostitutes of hurting them when he didn't pay them. This is what the judge is telling his lawyer, like, what would you say to the pessimist who might argue, gosh, it's a heck of a coincidence that he was wrongfully accused by 2 different prostitutes of hurting them when he didn't pay them. Then Mr. McLendon, his lawyer, responds, I have 2 responses. First of all, he's presumed to be innocent at this stage. And we presented in good faith some major issues in this case. That this is not uncommon. It's not unheard of here of prostitutes claiming rape when they are not paid for their services. So I would say that I would suggest that seems logical and acceptable as a proffer. You see that? You see that? Even the court's like, they ain't gonna murder you. They finna murder y'all. Even the courts. Even the courts. Come on, even the courts. Seeing stuff like this, like you can't get around. It's things like this that you just can't get around, no matter how hard you try. See what I'm saying? And it just kills the whole argument of what he's trying to argue. Okay? That just killed the whole argument. Okay. Now, look at this. Now, remember I told y'all about that. Look at this. Line 12. Now, this is the DA arguing Kiera's case, right? It says essentially on that date, the victim in that case was Kiera Simeon. She is on Backpage. There was never a question of what she does. Watch this. She had arrived, frankly, to a John. She got the number from a friend. See, she got unbiased this number from a friend. Not no party, not off the computer. He used that Backpage story because they found out the girl was on Backpage. So he built the story up on her being on Backpage to give to us in the battle rap community. That's why he used that Backpage story. Like, yeah, you know, I was throwing a party. I needed some dancers. So I went on Backpage to find some dancers. No. When this case came to be, y'all looked into her background and found out that she was on Backpage. And that's why when he tried to use the Backpage argument to try to say it was the day of his party, what this idiot didn't know, it didn't help him when Backpage had been closed down. Backpage had been closed down. See what I'm saying? So when he was using that, like, yeah, I got some girls off Backpage. What this idiot didn't know, Backpage had been shut down. They went into the girl background and found out she was on Backpage before. So he tried to use that, and it backfired on him when he tried to line his date of the rapes up with her being on Backpage because Backpage was already shut down by the FBI. So that didn't even help him. But he used that to sell it to us. But as we clearly can see here, she didn't meet him on Backpage. His lawyer not even arguing he met her on Backpage. The argument is the friend gave her the number. That's how they knew each other. The friend gave her his phone number because she needed a ride. That's how we know it's rape. Even more. Your story was a complete lie. Then they had to go to the friend's house after he took her property, after raping her, to get her property. Look at what it said. I mean, she had to look what it say right here. It say, watch this. Read line 12. Look what it say. Essentially, on that date, the victim in that case is Kiera Simeon. She is on Backpage, but there was never a question of what she does. She had arrived, frankly, to a John. Watch this. She got the number from a friend. Look at verse 16, y'all. The police have had contact with that friend. She gave the police the phone number that was used to contact this defendant for a ride. See that? See that? The police even went to the friend's house that Kiera was like, so eventually they was asking Kiera, how did you know this man? Where did you find? She like, a friend gave me the number. I needed a ride. My friend wasn't able to give me a ride, so she gave me a number to this Uber service. I called the Uber service for a ride. He pulled up. I get in the car. Somehow, this man turned out to be a rapist. He raped me. It was a pistol in the car. He forced me to do this with him. I jumped out of the car for my life. He took my property. Then the police like, well, where's this friend? They went to the friend house, line 16. Line 16, the police have had contact with that friend. What friend? Line 15, that she got the number from. She gave the police the phone number that was used to contact the defendant for a ride. So when the police got there, they was like, we need that phone number that you gave your friend the night she called you for a ride. Because this guy raped her. And the friend gave the number. He lied. Of course he taking the plea. He ain't going to trial behind this. He gonna get smoked. Of course. Come on now. He was running a full-blown operation, man. It was an operation. He thought he had it down pat. His wife would be working the graveyard shift. That's why she didn't know where he was that night when the DA asked. Do you even know where your husband was? And she couldn't even tell. Like, no. Like, how you don't know where your husband at? You don't know why all the time at nighttime this man been raping these women? He had a full-blown operation going on. He was a serial rapist. Kiera was raped on the 17th. Karen was raped the next day on the 18th. The very next day, he started making a sport of it, like a basketball game. God shut him down, though. God shut him down. So it is what it is, man. And that's sad. People was actually talking about they saw this paperwork. The No Mercy dude said he saw this paperwork and saw nothing in his paperwork that incriminates him or point to him being guilty in no type of way. The girl, the boss, whoever that boss girl is that be on Twitter Spaces, talking about she saw the documentary, and in the documentary, he put up the paperwork going against the girl's story, proving that it was a lie to the point that the DA had to drop the charges and let him go because they had no evidence on him. But yet this nigga finna go to trial less than 6 days away for these rape evidence charges and everything that never was dropped. Come on, man. Y'all ain't holding this guy accountable. He done used all y'all names and reputation from Goods, Sway Seba, Hitman Holla, ARP, Jazz the Rapper, Mickey Fax, Norbs, using all y'all. You know what? I'm putting a whole nother blog. Don't even worry. I'm gonna put something else. I gotta do a whole nother blog on this. I'm gonna do a whole nother blog. Anyway, it's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment, that's a question. It's yours. Hit the link in the description box. Subscribe to Battle Truth.